Hi, I love working with phobias because the great thing about working with phobias is you know when it's worked. There's clear evidence that the thing that used to scare you no longer does. So it tends to be a very clean piece of work and also something that can be helped very, very quickly. Honestly, with most clients, a single session is enough to release the phobia. And I know that can be hard to believe because people have had these fears for years and they can be tremendously inhibiting in their lives, but it's a beautiful example of the way the brain works, in that it's purely trying to protect you from something that it learned when it was younger. So for example, you could be, I'll give an example of an actual client who was a big hulking police officer who was terrified of spiders, to the degree that his 3-year-old daughter used to find spiders in the garden and chase her daddy with them because she thought it was funny. And I used a thing called timeline regression where we take them back to the very first event connected to the spider. And you'll be amazed how easy it is to access these memories when people are just in a low degree of trance state. And he went back to when he was 5 years old and his dad was putting him to bed. And he climbed on the bed to get underneath the covers. And his dad pulled the duvet back and there was a spider there. And this made the boy jump in alarm. And the father shouted at his son to not be such a baby. So it wasn't actually the spider. It wasn't the fear of the spider that mattered. It was the withdrawal of his father's approval that became connected to the image of a spider. And the way the brain works is that once the brain becomes sensitized to something that is dangerous or a threat to you, like the withdrawal of approval or a physical danger like being bitten by a dog, it uses that as a reference experience and uses it in every other situation which it thinks is similar. So as you get older, the more something happens, the more it will. And usually, the more it will, the worse it gets. And so by the time he's this police officer in his 30s, spiders to him are crushingly scary because of how it's amplified over time the degree of the withdrawal of approval of him as a boy. It's him not being brave. So he tries to get away by looking scared. He gets the very opposite to what he intends. So when you understand this pattern, there are several techniques which work brilliantly at interrupting it, at taking out the emotional content of this. In a way, it's like a Pavlovian cause and effect response. And once it's gone, it's gone. Having once been afraid of heights, it's a really weird experience to now climb up into the attic and look through the hole and know that once upon a time I'd been gripping the edges with my knuckles whitened from the sheer fear of being 8 foot up in the air. And yet now I look down and think, I know I should be scared, and yet somehow I can't quite find the feeling. It's a very odd thing. The brain has changed, and yet it carries a kind of residual memory of it. So I would really strongly to encourage you, whatever your phobia is, and remember, everybody else's phobia seems funny to them. Everybody else's does, but theirs is serious. So whatever you are scared of, do not be embarrassed by it. Somewhere on the planet, someone is scared of just about every object possible. I've had people scared of goldfish, of mushrooms, of tomatoes, of buttons. It's just an object that carries a response built into it because of an early experience. So contact one of our Quest Cognitive Therapists on our website, go on the Therapist Finder. All of them are perfectly capable of being able to help you with your phobia. So good luck with it.